Jimin was seen crying at a recent internal military event. His tears were not part of a performance or act. They were real and occurred in a very private setting, yet managed to capture public attention. The question is, what made Jimin cry? And why was Jungkook's name dragged into this incident? Concerns have since spread widely among ARMY, the devoted global fans of BTS. According to an internal source whose identity remains undisclosed, the incident began during a training evaluation session involving several active soldiers from the military units where Jimin and Jungkook are currently serving. Although the two are enlisted in different units, reports stated that they were scheduled to meet as part of an official agenda. However, the situation turned out to be far from expected. Instead of being welcomed with warm hugs or open smiles, the meeting was marked by silence and, most painfully, a distance that could not be bridged. Jimin, who is known for being warm and emotional, reportedly could not hold back his tears upon seeing Jungkook standing just a few meters away, yet unable to approach him. This situation occurred due to strict military protocols that limit communication between personnel from different units, even if they are close friends. They could only look at each other, no words, no gestures, said an eyewitness who was present during the session. The event quickly became a hot topic across various ARMY forums. Many felt heartbroken and saddened upon hearing the news. Jimin and Jungkook's relationship goes beyond that of colleagues in a music group. They've spent over a decade as friends, brothers, and co-workers. To witness two people so close unable to interact at such an emotional moment is heartbreaking, even for those who only know BTS from afar. The fact that Jimin cried was not just a symbol of personal longing, but also represented the overall emotional pressure felt by BTS members during military service. Separated from one another, far from the stage, and unable to support each other as usual, this is not just a break from the entertainment world. It's a deeply challenging, even painful, life phase. Complicating matters further was an unofficial report that Jungkook had experienced mild mental stress due to difficulties adapting to military life. A source close to the agency mentioned that despite Jungkook appearing strong and professional in public, he had suffered physical setbacks from overtraining and lack of sleep. This raised questions. Was Jimin's crying also an expression of deep concern for his friend's condition? Many ARMY believe that HYB, as the agency managing BTS, should provide clarification or at least a brief statement about the members' condition, particularly Jimin and Jungkook. Although military enrollment is a private matter protected by South Korean law, the wave of global anxiety caused by the news of Jimin's tears cannot simply be ignored. Social media was soon flooded with hashtags like #ProtectJimin, #StayStrongJungkook, and #WeMissBTS, which trended in several countries within less than 24 hours. Many fans expressed hope that the members remain strong and healthy until their service ends. Jimin cried not just because he was sad. He cried because he couldn't protect his younger brother. One fan wrote on Twitter, referring to the close, brother-like bond between Jungkook and Jimin. This moment further illustrates how strong the bond is among BTS members, while also highlighting their vulnerability as ordinary humans behind the grandeur of the stage and spotlight. On one hand, they are global icons. On the other, they are young men facing real-life challenges that may be tougher than the outside world imagines. Now, with the end of their service drawing near, only about 5% of the total duration remains. Many hold onto the hope that Jimin and Jungkook will be reunited in a freer setting, without military constraints. They deserve the hug that couldn't happen then. They deserve to end this chapter with peace and warmth, not with tears. Some entertainment industry analysts have even speculated that this emotional moment might inspire BTS's future music, especially since such personal experiences are often reflected in their lyrics. It's entirely possible that Jimin will express his sorrow through a song or a visually moving piece of art. Meanwhile, HYB is reportedly preparing a major comeback involving all 7 members once they are discharged. This project is being kept tightly under wraps, but insiders say the concept will be much more mature and reflective, capturing the emotional growth of the members over the past 2 years. ARMY around the world can now only wait anxiously, counting the days until June 2025, when BTS is scheduled to complete their military service. Behind the festive excitement that may lie ahead, there remains emotional wounds that need time to heal, and Jimin's tears are the clearest evidence that this journey is not just physical, but also deeply emotional. When asked about post-military plans, a HYB representative answered diplomatically, "The members need time to recover and adjust." But they're also eager to return to creating. They deeply miss the stage and their fans. Whatever happens next, one thing has become crystal clear. Behind their tough fronts and exceptional professionalism, BTS members have a deeply human side. Jimin's tears are not a sign of weakness, but a symbol of emotional strength rarely found in global-level artists. And in ARMY's eyes, that only makes them more beloved. With just a few weeks left, the K-pop world holds its breath. The failed meeting between Jimin and Jungkook will not be forgotten, but perhaps it will spark a new beginning, stronger, closer, and more emotional than ever before. Until that day comes, there is one universal hope shared by millions of fans. May Jimin's tears be the last, and may warm hugs soon follow. However, behind the deep wave of emotion and widespread concern from ARMY around the world, we must not turn a blind eye to one crucial and fundamental question. Did this incident really happen, as reported? Or conversely, is this the result of a narrative deliberately crafted to stir emotional resonance among the public? Right now, social media platforms like TikTok, Twitter, X, YouTube, and global fan forums are filled with various versions of the story about Jimin's tears and Jungkook's condition during military service. Many claim to be eyewitnesses, while others share clips, audio, and screenshots whose authenticity remains unclear. This is a significant concern. Are we witnessing reality, or just the shadow of a carefully packaged narrative? In today's fast-paced digital era, information spreads much faster than clarification. A 15-second video can spark global speculation even before any official statement is made. So how do we know whether the tears being discussed around the world really fell from Jimin's face? Is Jungkook truly in unstable mental condition? Or is this all a form of emotional projection by a public that's been yearning for their idols too long? These are the questions we must reflect upon together. To what extent do we trust information solely sourced from unverified social media? Have we, as fans, become victims of an industry of sensationalism that commodifies sadness and emotional vulnerability? Who truly benefits from the spread of such news? Is this really about Jimin and Jungkook, or more about strengthening their public figure status and market position? We cannot ignore the fact that the K-pop world has a long history of building narratives that move the masses. Stories of friendship, separation, sacrifice, and tears are often packaged dramatically to maintain the emotional bond between artists and fans. It's not unreasonable if some begin to question, are Jimin's tears real? Or have they been made part of a hidden communication strategy? The fact remains, to this day, HYB, BTS's agency, has not released any official statement regarding Jimin's alleged crying during military training. All circulating information comes from social media accounts, community forums, and short videos with unclear origins. From a journalistic perspective, this raises a huge question mark. Have mass media and fans been too quick to draw conclusions based on emotionally charged snippets? Therefore, we invite you, intelligent and reflective readers, to pause for a moment and reconsider. Are we witnessing a real event, or are we participating in emotional consumption unaware of the true context? Is this news becoming real because we want to believe it, or because there are actual objective facts behind it? Why? In every incident involving major artists like BTS, does the truth feel so obscured, hidden beneath personal interpretations and fanaticism? Of course, this doesn't mean we should outright reject all publicly circulated information. However, skepticism and critical thinking are absolutely necessary. especially in an era where the line between fact and opinion is increasingly blurred. We must learn to distinguish between genuine empathy for our idol's condition and the exploitation of collective emotions for media or other interests. More than that, we must also recognize that BTS, regardless of their massive influence, are still human. They are not immune to pressure, misunderstandings, or even media manipulation. Jimin's tears, if they indeed occurred, may simply be the peak of emotional exhaustion he has kept inside. But if they didn't, and all this is merely a perception shaped by social media framing, then we've become part of a false reality that actually makes things harder for them.